All right, today we're trying to make sense out of some theory on the guitar, on the neck, and it's this is stuff you need to know. So let's just jump right in. What we're looking at today is the major pentatonic scale. So if you learn about the major pentatonic scale, like reading theory stuff, or if you've ever done a little bit of background in music theory, you will know that the major pentatonic scale is the same as a major scale with the fourth degree of the scale and the seventh degree of the scale eliminated. And that makes the scale a five-note scale because we started as with the major do re mi fa sol la ti do major scale as a seven note scale. Okay, so now we have a pentatonic scale as opposed to a septatonic scale. All right. Now let's just hear that across the this vertical position. All right, so that is a major pentatonic scale. Now, from a fretboard mechanics perspective, there's method to all this madness as well, because if you learn your scales this way, they will become practical. You will be able to use them to solo, right? And that's why we're doing this integrated scale system uh, idea. All right. So next, in second position, again we have a C major scale. So working our way up the fretboard in the five regions of the fretboard, vertical with vertical scale forms, right? So now we do exactly the same thing. We eliminate the fourth degree and the seventh degree of the scale. One, two, three, no four, five, six, no seven, and root again, one. Okay, now you'll notice that when you remove the fourth degree and the seventh degree, what you're actually removing are the semitones, and those two semitones form the tritone. Here's the F, fourth degree. Here's the seventh degree. And those two degrees, as I said, form the tritone. The tritone is the substance, the harmonic life behind the five chord, the G7 chord. By removing the tritone, or the three and the seven from the scale, it allows you a lot more room for improvisation, because you're not constantly you're not as concerned with where you're going to resolve those two leading tones, the one leading tone leading to the four, and the other leading tone leading to the root, right? So when you get rid of those, it's far more open. And the melodies by the thousands upon thousands have been written completely in the pentatonic scale for that reason as well. They're nice, simple, folksy sounding melodies. It doesn't matter if you're improvising in folk or country or jazz or whatever. This scale is an essential will be an essential part of your vocabulary. All right, now so that I'll play that one more time. Cool. Now, C major scale, we work our way up to fifth position. It dovetails with our second position. And there's our major scale. Of course, if you don't know the major scales, like you're going to have to learn them. Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because the major scales become all the modes and so on. And, you know, it's just a foundation you have to have. All right, and so now we eliminate the fourth and the seventh from that that scale, and we have. Okay, all pentatonic. Okay, pentatonic. And now we move up one more, C major. Always remember make sure that the template that you're using for the pentatonic scale is going to be the major scale. Like, don't just see learn the pentatonic scale by itself. Have the major scale underneath that pentatonic scale, because that's a huge deal. Because when you want to make that pentatonic scale a little more substantial, you just add in the notes of the major scale. Great place to start. Okay, and pentatonic scale in seventh position. Right. It just really speaks to the triad, to the C chord. All right, and then finally in ninth position, to fill up the fretboard, we have the C major scale, and our pentatonic, same deal. 1, 2, 3, no 4, no 7. Okay, there we go. And then now, at this point, we're repeating what we had at the beginning. Here's our major scale. You should always play up to the repeat. And then our 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the octave higher than where we started. And if you want to play up into the stratosphere, if you got like a really long neck or it's really comfortable, go ahead. Now it might be an idea to take that one step further and do a a 1 to a 4 chord, to just sort of have the harmony more locked in. That in each position, you get the idea. And so on, across the whole fretboard. You always want to have your the most important chords of the key underneath what you're thinking in your practice. You never want to practice just one thing, like let's see how fast my fingers can move. That's like useless when it comes to music. What you want to do is build an understanding as you're practicing, and so what you're looking for is plural practice. How many different things can I practice at one time? So if you're practicing a C major scale and your major pentatonic scale and your 1 4 5 chords, that's teaching you the harmony and it's teaching you how scales evolve, and at the same time teaching you fretboard mechanics as you move across the entire fretboard and lock in the entire fretboard with these simple concepts, right? So that's like gold standard practice, and that's what you should be doing all the time. And do it slowly, and always include your ears. Like make sure that you're listening to what you're doing. All of this stuff is speaking of mechanics is about the mechanics of music. This stuff is the stuff that the DNA of music, and so make sure that you spend time with this kind of practice, because you'll build your technique and you'll build your understanding at the same time. All right, I hope that was a help for you. That's the major pentatonic scale, and this is just in one key. We're looking at it, but of course, it's going to work exactly the same way in all keys. All right. So if this was a help to you, subscribe or click like. That helps us, and make sure that you leave any comments or questions. That also really helps us to define where we're going with the direction that we're moving. Okay, we let you tell us where you'd like to see us go. All right, thanks a lot. Thanks for dropping by. That's the major pentatonic scale, 5 notes.